the keywords is 13.22. I was speaking about Purusha Prakriti Stoi Bhumte Prakriti Jan Gunan. It talks about how does a living entity get a body, you could say, in high level. It's because of the association with the three modes. So what are the three modes? How does one get entangled with it, and how to come out of it? So everything will be talked about in this particular chapter. Krishna will mention. So Krishna doesn't just mention the problem, the issue. He also talks about the solution. Right? So Krishna is going to talk about that entire everything about three modes in a very nutshell in 14th chapter. So the 14th chapter is called as three modes of material nature. Okay. So what are three modes material nature? I think as Lakshmi, I know you both know. Do you know what three modes of material nature are? I heard that before.
No, Prabhuji.
So it's something which I've heard, I know, but this you don't know that's that. Have you heard Sattva Guna, Rajogun, Tamogun?
Yes, I
That's
heard.
it. That's the yeah. So these three modes of metal nature are the English term for that.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
Three modes. The mode is Tamogun is a mode. The mode is, you could say, consciousness. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you must have, I don't know if you've seen a beautiful picture. This modes of, if you have a hard bound Bhagavad Gita, like it's not the soft bound, a hard bound Bhagavad Gita, there's a beautiful picture of the three modes. Let me see.
No, I should be receiving my new Bhagavad Gita, which is coming from India. I should have it
Okay.
by next month. So right
Okay.
now, what I
Good.
have is the soft copy in the
Okay. No,
soft
no, no.
book.
Yeah, yeah. So for this, opening my new tab, let me see if I can. It's not very high quality, I don't know, but yeah. Hopefully, can you see the screen? Mm.
Oh, yes.
So three modes, the three ladies here, and the person. So when we act in a certain way, it's due to the influence of three modes, right? So, oh, Rama is saying something. Hey, Shmataji, so Rama Mataji is volunteered to give you a copy of the Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, I was just typing a message to her.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rama
Yeah,
Mataji.
no problem.
Yeah.
Haribol, Haribol.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are three modes of material nature, and any action which we do is not dictated or is not controlled by three modes. It's influenced by three modes. So I will make a distinction. The three modes of material nature, if you see here, you could say it's controlling, right? This way
Okay.
say, oh, they say move this way, we're moving. So what we're doing is we are controlled by three modes. So it's not actually controlled, it's influenced by three modes. They're not controlled. So it's like um, we have influences, Instagram influences, or Facebook influences, social media influences, right? They don't all to come and then put a gun on your head, buy this, not like that. They influence. And depending on certain inclination you have, for example, let's say you love perfume, for example, I don't know, perfume. And you say, oh, this is my perfume, like this. And you go and you walk, you're walking on the street, and there's a perfume shop beside, right besides. So the person will not come and order, hey, you have to buy, you came here to buy it, and then put a gun point, nothing like that. But when you go, because we innate nature of liking something, perfume, right? So that shop is now going to influence your desire to buy. Does that make sense? It's a very good way of explaining. So these modes, they don't dictate, but they put us based on our previous karma, vasanas, desires, everything, impressions. They put us in situations which will accentuate, which will promote those tendencies which are cultivated from unmarried lifetimes. Does it make sense?
So I have a question,
Yes.
Prabhuji. Is it something that it comes from the previous life that whatever like is it
Mhm.
something related to our karmic cycle that one?
Yes. So,
Okay.
so Yeah, so whatever we do, whatever activity we do, every activity leaves an impression in the mind. Is it good or bad? Whatever it is.
Okay.
Let's say you are, um, let's say you have nice, opulent things you have. You are used to nice opulent things. You love getting nice things. Okay, for example, okay, they love getting nice things. Now you say, wow, it's very nice, right? But that you loving that, oh wow, I love it. I'm enjoying nice things. That enjoyment also leaves impression in the heart. It's not just the bad things. Any good thing, anything you enjoy nicely, this is anything you like, anything you dislike, whatever you do, leaves an impression in the heart. Now let's say you've been used to getting nice things in this life, and that impressions are there of you liking something, right? So it's called rag and dvesh. Okay, dvesh means I don't like this. Rag means, oh, I love this, very nice. So the next life, when you are not in a good position, for example, whatever, right? In not in a good situation, you'll start why am I not getting? I want nice things. You want many things, but you don't have anything to get. Why? So that impression which you had for getting nice things is not able to be fulfilled in this life because certain circumstances you don't get those things, and because that you get distressed. So that impression of having nice things in this life can cause pain in the next life when you don't get things, and vice versa also.
Oh, okay.
So any activity will leave an impression in the heart. Any activity you do, good or bad, and that like and dislike is one of the causes. I don't know if you remember, we're talking about Yoga Shastra. Do you remember the reason for birth and death? Abhinivesh, avidya. I don't know if you remember. So the different steps with ignorance. It starts with ignorance, everything. So one of the things, raga dvesh, when we like or dislike, when you like or dislike things, it creates a problem. In fact, it goes a step further. Happiness and distress leads to distress and happiness. How? When you get happiness, you become happy. When the happiness leaves, you become distressed. When distress comes, you become distressed. When distress goes, you become happy. So they both cause each other. Effect, cause and effect. So anything which we do leaves impression in the heart, and the next life will come back. For sure. Whatever it is. So that's why Krishna says, or now the scriptures say, we should not become raga and dveshi. We try to become neutral. No, नहीं मिला कोई बात नहीं. मिला okay, no problem. Bhagavad Gita, you find Bhagavad Gita. Sama, samattam yogam utyate. Become neutral. हाँ नहीं मिला कोई okay, no problem. I don't get it. Fine. Don't become too elated when you get something. Don't become too depressed when you don't get something. Why? Well, those leaves an impression in the heart. Does that make sense? That's the question. Nice. Okay. No answer. I hope they understood. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Hi, Sarita Mataji, thank you for joining. Yeah,
Hare
okay.
Krishna Prabhu.
Actually, thank you. Oof. We have, okay, I might join. Okay, so we'll start the 14th chapter. 14th chapter is titled Three Modes of Material Nature. Okay, so anyone would like to read the verse, the first verse of the 14th chapter? Let me see.
Prabhu, I can read, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just open it, Prabhu. Chapter 14. Chapter 14, Three Modes of Material Nature. Verse 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Param Bhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanam Uttamam Yajnatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddham Hito Gataha. Synonyms. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, Param, transcendental. Bhuyaha, again. Pravakshami, I shall speak. Jnananam, of all knowledge, jnanam, knowledge, uttamam, the supreme, yat, which, jnatva, knowing, munayah, the sages, sarve, all, param, transcendental, siddhim, perfection, ita, from this world, gataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, "Again, I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all this universe consists. In the seventh chapter to the end of the 12th chapter, Sri Krishna in detail reveals the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Now, the Lord Himself is further enlightening Arjuna. If one surrenders this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of a devotional service. In the 13th chapter, it was clearly explained that by humbly developing knowledge, one may possibly be freed from the material entanglement. It has also been explained that it is due to the association with the modes of the nature that the living entity is entangled in this material world. Now, in this chapter, the Supreme Personality explains what those modes of nature are, how they act, how they bind, and how they give liberation. The knowledge explained in this chapter is proclaimed by the Supreme Lord to be the superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters. By understanding this knowledge, one can enter into the spiritual world. The Lord now explains the same knowledge in a better way. This knowledge is far, far superior to the other process of knowledge thus far explained. And knowing this may attain perfection. Thus, it is expected that one who understands this 14th chapter will attain perfection. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Krishna, thanks much, Viji. So let's go with the verse. Anything you want to share about this verse? We go ahead. Any
Hare Krishna,
thoughts, anything?
Prabhu.
Krishna, yeah.
1 second, Prabhu. Sorry, I'm just opening this. So it says, knowledge so far is far superior to all other processes of knowledge thus far
Mm-hmm.
explained. So
Mm-hmm.
Prabhupada is referring to the fourth chapter because
Mm-hmm.
in between we had Bhakti Yoga, which is
Mm-hmm.
the bestest, right?
Mm-hmm.
When what exactly is he comparing to here?
Yeah. So this is explained by Shri Baldev Bhushan. What exactly Krishna means here. So this is in context of specific verse. Remember what is seed verse for this chapter?
Aham bija.
13.22.
22.
Oh,
So
okay,
Purusha Prakriti
13.22.
Stohi
Ah.
Bhungte Prakriti Jan Gunan. Right? So Shri Baldev Bhushan says that what does Krishna mean by here saying this? Again, I will speak better knowledge, you know, best of all knowledge. So he says that he gives two interpretations. He says, I will speak more knowledge which is different from the knowledge just spoken. This param. And this knowledge concerns the gunas and its inclination of. So basically, it talks about I'll give the best knowledge about Prakriti and Guna. So this refers to 13th chapter specifically is talking about, not the entire thing. So the context is I'm going to speak more knowledge like if you consider 13th chapter like yogurt and it will be more distilled knowledge like butter about Prakriti and Jiva. That makes sense? So this knowledge concerns the gunas and though basically and talk about Prakriti and Jivas, Prakriti, Jiva and Guna. All about these, I'll speak something more in detail. I'll distill it more. I'll give the essence. I'll give in essence form of what is spoken of 13th chapter already. I'll give an essence form. Better than the previous one which is given. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, and also the other interpretation is I will speak the same thing which I mentioned 13th chapter. I'll speak but in a different way. There's other meaning. Shiva Devotion gives. I speak what is 13th chapter, but in a different way. I'll speak about something very similar. Okay, so these are two interpretations given by Bhuya. Bhuya means again. Right? Bhuya means again. I'll speak. So Param Bhuya Pravakshami. Param Bhuya means transcendental or the which is spoken better. Bhuya again Pravakshami I'll speak about. Jnana Jnana Uttamam. Knowledge among best knowledge among all knowledge. which is speaking in the previous chapter about Prakriti and Jiva and Guna, their interrelation. Yet Jnatva Munaya Sarve, knowing this, all the Munis Munaya Sarve, Param Siddhim Idogata, they attained perfection. Okay? That is the meaning of this particular verse. Now, Shabaldevata Bhushan gives, you could say, what are the different questions which could be answered from this chapter. Okay, there are multiple questions. I'll just read this out. He says, what are those gunas? What are the, how does the jiva get entangled with Prakriti? What is the cause of bondage? The cause of bondage is the three modes. And remember the puppet thing you saw? The cause of bondage for jiva becomes entangled in the material world with Prakriti is guna, right? Material modes. Now, what are those gunas? First question. How does the association of those gunas take place? What is the result of association with those gunas? Third question. What is the characteristic of a person associated with them? So basically describe what is the characteristic of a person who is in Sattva guna, what is the characteristic of a person in Tamo guna, and what is the characteristic of a person in Rajoguna. First one is what are the gunas? Guna hai kya? And then how does jiva get entangled, get associated with these gunas? Then what is the result of association with these gunas? What are the characteristics of a person who is in these gunas? However it is, we'll see, right? And how does one become free? So from end to end question, what are these gunas? To how one become free of those gunas. These 5 questions will be answered by Shri Krishna in this chapter. Okay. So,
Prabhu, 1 second, Prabhu. 5 questions. You said cause of what are the gunas?
The cause of bondage for jiva in the material world is modes of nature.
Okay, Prabhu. What I've written is what are gunas? How does jiva get association? Person getting associated, and how does one become free from the gunas?
Can you repeat? You broke off. Can you repeat that again?
I wrote 5 questions are what are the gunas?
Okay.
How does the jiva get the association of the gunas?
Okay.
What are the results of the association? Who is the character? What is the character of a person in association? And then how does one become free from the gunas?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So, and they give three modes. We know 3 modes. We'll give 3 results. And Krishna at the end will say, these are destroyed by my devotion to me. That is your end result. That is the spoiler alert. Devotion to me destroy all these gunas. Krishna says that. Okay. So that is so Prabhupada here basically, if you see let's say puppet here, okay? No, it's very striking thing. Prabhupada says here. Now the Lord himself led further. If one understands this third sentence, if one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service. Do you see any issue with this line? Anything unusual?
Say that one more time, Prabhu. Which line, Prabhu?
The third sentence. So Vivek was saying something. Third sentence. If one understands this chapter. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's saying if one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service. Prabhupada was never in favor of philosophical speculation, using philosophical speculation as a means to attain bhakti. Bhakti Sanjayate Bhakti was his prime goal, right?
Okay. Yes.
So it is complicated. It's a roundabout way.
No, so Prabhupada always decries, always says no philosophical speculation, no speculation, no mental gymnastics. Always. Yeah. But here is saying, understand the process of understand the chapter 2, philosophical speculation. So what it means.
Since this section of Bhagavad Gita is like the Jnana Yoga section,
okay,
so it talks mainly about philosophical speculation, like how, like in like 6th chapter, last verse, like whatever be the yogis, whichever form you take, by ultimately you will come to devotional service, right? So in this chapter, Prabhupada is trying to say, even if you understand by speculative knowledge, you will come to devotional service.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Mataji, thank you. Please go ahead.
So is it the understanding of the difference between the Jiva and Prakriti, Prabhuji?
The difference between Jiva and Prakriti was clear in the last chapter itself of what is. There's so many expressions given, right? That they don't mix like sky and air and stuff. That's already mentioned. So what is space? What is the meaning of what is the? How do we understand philosophy speculation here? Philosophy speculation basically means, oh, I think I think it's like this. We're using our mental gymnastics to understand Bhagwan. But what does here philosophy speculation mean? That's what I had asked the question. Right. It means hear from various sources, from bona fide sources, and use one's intelligence to understand what has been heard. Use intelligence. So Prabhupada said, Prabhupada didn't say keep your intelligence away. Use your intelligence properly. Study Shastra. So proper use of intelligence is to understand Shastra. So hear bona fide sources and try to understand it through your intelligence. Okay, what is it? Make sense of it. That means sort of speculation here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, Prabhu, but
Yes,
still,
Prabhu.
why speculation, right?
Speculation here. So right. So if you go by the actual direct meaning of that, then doesn't make sense because Papa is always against it. So when he says
Yeah.
here, it's like the direct meaning and the indirect meaning. So indirect meaning is what he actually means to say is that hear from multiple sources and use your intelligence. So not that use your intelligence trying to make your own thing. No, I think Krishna is pink in color. He's like this, always near pink flowers. I think he's thinking. No, use your own intelligence trying to make things. When you hear from different sources, they make different angles of vision and try to make, or sometimes you may hear something opposite, something different from what you have heard, very different. Try to create harmony.
Yeah.
Try to समन्वय करो, try to bring it make it inclusive. So one way of doing is called, we have Arthapatti. Very common example, right? Ravi doesn't eat during the day, but he's fat. His weight is increasing. How do you understand that? He's at night. So when you hear different opposite statements or different statements to harmonize, okay, how does it make sense? What is going on? Right?
Yeah.
That's speculation here. Right?
Okay,
In
Prabhu.
fact,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Shivam
Prabhu,
Bhagavatam.
is this chapter that controversial that you have to make a statement like this?
No. I'm saying we may hear people have, you could let me say, about the origin of Jiva, all this stuff. Not directly in this chapter, but the origin of Jiva, or Jiva
Yeah.
fight on that, or all this.
Yeah,
There'll be
the Jiva
controversy.
debate is constantly raging. Yeah.
Is what is there. So, Prabhupada is saying here, not I'm saying just give an example, do not think here. There might be various, because Bhagavan is unlimited, they give various points of view. Some people may say, नहीं, ये गलत है. People can, नहीं, I'm this sampradaya, you are wrong, this is wrong. Try to make sense out of it. Does it make sense? No problem. But try to make sense out of it. So your appreciation for Bhagavan can increase. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
We are
Prabhu.
not here to saying that you are wrong, you go to hell. In fact, I'll show you a quote. Okay. Let me see. It's very, very powerful quote. This is purport to the first verse of the fourth chapter of first canto. Okay. It's called Appearance of Shiva. Narad Muni is coming about to appear in front of Shiva's Dev. So would anyone like to read? Let me see. Okay, read from here. Okay, till here. Please listen very carefully and give you inputs. Okay, yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
In a meeting of learned men, when there are congratulations or addresses for the speaker, the qualifications of the congratulator should be as follows. He must be the leader of the house and an elderly man. He must be vastly learned also. Sri Shaunaka Rishi had all these qualifications, and thus he stood up to congratulate Sri Shuta Goswami when he explained his desire to present Srimad Bhagavatam exactly as he had heard it from Sukadeva Goswami, and also realized it personally.
Yeah, abhi important. Okay, yeah.
Personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous Acharya. He must have full confidence in the previous Acharya, and at the same time, he must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for particular circumstances in a suitable manner. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it, yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience. This is called realization.
Definition of realization. Okay, I'll keep it here. Anything you can do? Can think of what we talked about fit into this?
Everything.
Sorry.
Are you asking for specific examples, Prabhu?
No, what we're talking about, philosophical speculation, does it tie to this, what we just read now? If yes, if no, your input.
Yes, Prabhu. It's yeah. Whoever is realizing should technically say the same thing as his previous Acharya is saying, so it's non-controversial. He might present it in a different circumstance, so it's our job to understand it in harmony.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Anyone else would like to share? What they thought of this, or what it means?
Yeah, Prabhu, I think because Bhagavan is Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu, so everyone can have, Acharyas can have different realizations about the same pastime, right? Like how Hari
Right.
Suri's realizations are very different on a very different level. So, but if you come across something conflicting, it does not mean that one Acharya is conflicting the other. As Vivek said, you just have to try to harmonize the. Yeah, I think Haripasha Prabhu calls it Udit Anudit Nyaya. I remember that.
Anudit Home Nyaya.
Home
Yeah.
Nyaya, yeah. Jai. Yeah, it's very important to harmonize the explanations.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Anyone else? Last out. Okay. So, but all when you get a chance to speak Krishna Katha, it's not wrong that you just say as it is, but try to read, try to meditate on what you have heard, and try to present. It's like, when it's like reading comprehension, very crude way, but read a paragraph, comprehend. Now, in your own words, what do you mean by that? So you are not going to uh, take different meaning of what has been said. You are present in a particular way. For example, let's say, right, we have some videos. Explain quantum physics to 5-year-old. How do you explain quantum physics to 5-year-old? You will come. How can you explain quantum physics to a 5-year-old? Only when you actually know what quantum physics is properly. Or else you can't explain to anyone, in fact. Right? Forget 5-year-old. It might be easier to explain quantum physics to a PhD level. Madhi, please go ahead. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, after attending Amarendra Prabhu's program in Seattle, I feel like, Amarendra Prabhu presented a lot of things from Krishna, Sandarbha, and everything, but he made it so much more palatable for the common persons like me to understand the such exalted topics. So, he's still presenting what acharyas have presented, but he's realizing it, he's understanding it, he's making it more easier for us to digest the information. That's the simplest way I can think of it.
Yes,
I
perfect.
don't know if that is right or not, but
Yes, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Yes. So this, but how could he explain when he's realized he knows he has
yeah,
full confidence, but he's spoken by previous acharyas, he understood it, and then he could explain, right? Same thing. So quantum physics teacher cannot teach quantum physics. I mean, it will be easier. It might be easier to teach to a PhD level, but to 5-year-old, you have to really know and try to make it more palatable, let's say, right? So this personal realization, a very beautiful thing. It's not been mentioned out of Andy. It's not just mean as it is you reply. I mean, it's good, better, but it implies that you understand it and then speak it. Okay, in whatever way you understood it, keeping the essence of the message same. Okay, yeah, we can talk more about this a lot, but hopefully understand philosophical speculation here doesn't mean actual philosophical speculation. It means try to understand different points of view and harmonize. Okay, we see. Yeah, it's same thing we talked about. So this would, as I mentioned, the 5 questions will be answered in this chapter from end to end of 3 modes of literature. How does it affect us? Okay. Any questions? Anything on this verse?
So mathematically, this chapter is 14.1, and you picked up that realization from 1.4.1.
Oh, क्या बात है. One change in decimal point.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good. Perfect. Yeah. In binary form, it multiply by 2. Okay. Sorry. Oh, okay. So, okay. So, no, so just mission. Setamadi, any questions, or Lakshmi, Ramya, any questions? Maybe awfully quiet. So just want to make sure it's not over above the head. But
So far, good, Prabhu.
okay,
I'm also good, Prabhu.
perfect. I'm glad to hear that. That making sense. Good. Okay. So now we'll go to the next verse, 14.2. The next verse, Krishna. So this Krishna is going to further glorify the same he's going to speak. Krishna gives some more glorification. Krishna talks about what he's going to speak, and then we get into the chapter. Okay. Iman, would you like to read the verse? Read.
I can read this too.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Idam jnanam upasritya saadharmyam agataha sargepi nopajayante pralayena vyatanti cha. Idam, this jnanam, knowledge, upashritya, taking shelter of my sadharmyam, same nature, agataha, having attained, sarge api, even in the creation, never, upajayante, are born, pralaye, in the annihilation, nor, yathanti, are disturbed, cha also. Translation: by becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or is disturbed at the time of dissolution. Purport. After acquiring perfect transcendental knowledge, one acquires qualitative equality with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, becoming free from the repetition of birth and death. One does not, however, lose his identity as an individual soul. It is understood from Vedic literature that the liberated souls who have reached the transcendental planets of the spiritual sky always look to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, being engaged in his transcendental loving service. So even after liberation, the devotees do not lose their individual identities. Generally, in the material world, whatever knowledge we get is contaminated by the 3 modes of material nature. Knowledge which is not contaminated by the 3 modes of material nature is called transcendental knowledge. As soon as one is situated in the transcendental knowledge, he is on the same platform as the Supreme Person. Those who have knowledge of the spiritual sky hold that after being freed from the material activities of the material form, this spiritual identity becomes formless without any variegatedness. However, just as there is material variegatedness in the world, in this world, in the spiritual world there is also variegatedness. Those in ignorance of this think that spiritual existence is opposed to material variety. But actually, in the spiritual sky, one attains a spiritual form. There are spiritual activities, and the spiritual situation is called devotional life. That atmosphere is said to be uncontaminated, and there is one, and there one is equal in quality with the Supreme Lord. To obtain such knowledge, one must develop all the spiritual qualities. One who thus develops the spiritual qualities is not affected either by the creation or by the destruction of the material world. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Krishna. Thank you so much. Okay, so again, Krishna is going to glorify. He's glorifying what he's about to speak, basically. And Shri Baldev Dev a very nice an interpretation of this verse. First, let's look at this verse as it is. Idam jnanam upashitya. By taking shelter of this knowledge. Upashitya means taking shelter of this knowledge. Mama sa dharmyam agata. People have attained sa dharmyam, my dharma, means my nature. That means they become liberated in spiritual world. Also, it means sarupya mukti, the liberation. And sarge api nopajayante. And sarge and pralaya. Sarge means creation. Atra sarga visarga sthanam. Sarga means creation. Pralaya means destruction, dissolution. Sarge and pralaya api no upajayante. They are never stuck in the cycles of birth, creation, and dissolution. But they're not born, they get body, they're not stuck in cycle of birth and death. They get liberated basically. That's what it means. Okay? Nor are they disturbed. Vatanti. Okay? So by becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to transcendental nature like my own. Thus establish one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. Okay? So they don't, and at the time of dissolution, they don't get suffering, and they are taking birth in the world again. This is the result of knowing this knowledge. Krishna is saying, already saying, result kya hoga iska? He just is glorifying the knowledge. Right? So what the result of understanding this knowledge which Krishna is about to speak. Right? So now this word, so Baldev Bhushan says that Upa Ashita means taking shelter of. So he says that how do we get liberation? How do we get sarge or pralaya na upajayante? By service through Guru, upashitya. So upashitya means he says he translates upashitya as by doing service through Guru. So he says that attaining this knowledge which I described to service of Guru, people have attained similar nature to mine. One cannot, so going back to spiritual world is not possible by just doing all this by on our own effort. Not possible. Not possible. It's through the service of Guru. So what is the anyone know what the first limb of Bhakti mentioned in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu?
Guru Pada Ashraya.
Yes, Adav Guru Pada Ashraya. The first limb of Bhakti mentioned in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu is taking shelter of a Guru. Right? And then Tatra Tasmat Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. And then Vishram Bhena Guru Seva. The three. These are three are the doorways to the rest of the limbs of Bhakti. The Bhakti Sindhu says. The main important that first 20 and the last 5, the most important. Of that, the first 3 which I mentioned are the doorways. Right? So Shri Baldev Bhushan says that one can attain sadharmyam. Sadharmyam means one can attain this. People have attained. Agata. Agata means plural usage. That is, many people have attained also. They have attained same nature as me by taking shelter or doing service to Guru. Okay, so who will give this knowledge? The Guru. So anyone remembers the verse? How do you get a knowledge? But service to Guru. Anything regarding anyone remembers the verse?
Tadvidhi
Pranipatena.
Tadvidhi
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya
Upadekshante
te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana.
Perfect. Who will have to explain the verse, the meaning of the verse?
I'll try from, or you can
Yeah,
try.
please go ahead.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So I'm blanking out, bro.
No problem. Try whatever you can try. कोई ये नहीं है, कबड्डी कुछ नहीं है. Whatever you can think, but whatever you remember. No speculation.
Pariprashnena sevaya is humbly try to serve through surrender. You have to try to surrender and service.
Okay.
And there were two things. Tatviti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam. Those who seek knowledge in that way will jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
Okay.
Oh, I will butcher.
No. It's better to try than not to have. Better try. You tried. Thank you so much.
Jnaninas. Yeah. Upadekshanti te jnanam. Jnaninas tattvadarshina. Jnaninas is knowledge
Yeah, those who
seekers.
realized.
Tattvadarshinaha. That is how they will show you the tattva, the philosophy.
They have seen.
That is how they have seen.
No. So, okay. So yeah, Papa, almost there. Very nice. Thank you so much, Vivek. Thank you. Very nice. You give it a shot. Thank you very much for sparing it. Anyone else?
One who inquisitively
No,
inquires
I
from a
want to break
guru.
down the verse.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu.
No. When you see, you are trying Bhakti Shastri, you are studying properly. Verse and
Break
take it
down
down.
the verse.
Let's go. Not just verse as मेरे का मतलब क्या है, that I don't know. But no. You pick it properly. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. Tadvidhi pranipartena pariprashnena sevaya.
Thank you. Sorry, Vijay. Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so that I don't mess up the Sanskrit. 1 second, Prabhu.
Whatever you think. Remember the verse
Yeah.
and then speak.
Yeah. Pranipatena is in Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Pranipatena is inquisitive. I remember in the translation it comes from one who pariprashnena sevaya. Sevaya is, of course, one who surrenders and serves. Upadekshanti te jnanam. The last two lines are glorifying such a guru, right? Because he is Jnaninas Tattvadarshinaha. He has seen the tattva and he is very knowledgeable. And one who gets knowledge from such a person is more sublime.
Okay.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. No. Again, this is not Bhakti exam.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Give it a shot.
Yeah, I did
No worries.
study, but yes,
No
very
worries.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's have a try. Okay. So tad vidhi, tad means. So yeah. Saying something, anyone? Okay. So tad vidhi. Tad basically means what is spoken before or knowledge. Right? Vidhi means try to understand. Vidhi. Vidwad jan, vidwad, learned. Vidhi means try to understand how. Pranipatena. Pranipati basically means surrendering, offering obeisances. Pranipatena. And by submissively approaching the Guru, basically, Pranipatena. Pranipat basically means obeisances. But approaching the Guru, Pariprashnena, and asking questions. So here, Pari basically means nice, complete, nice question. Not, Maharaj, or my Guru, what do you think about science? Important, nice questions. Pranipatena, Pariprashnena, and Sevaya. By approaching a spiritual master, surrendering, by reading Seva, asking nice questions, and reading Seva. By these three things. Tad Vidhi, understand how by Pranipatena, Pariprashnena, Sevaya. By doing that, what will happen? Someone, they will impart you something. Upadesh Shanti, Upadesh denge. They will initiate, they will give knowledge. They will tell something, they will share something. And they begin, what kind of person is that? Can I ask anyone like that? No. What kind of person? But that should be who you go to Paripatena, Pariprashna Sevaya. That person should be Upajekshate Jnanam, Jnaninas. They should be realized and Tattvadarshina. They should have seen the truth. So try to understand by approaching a spiritual master, asking questions, rendering service, right? And by doing that, they will initiate you or they will give you the knowledge, right? And how the person should be, but that person should be self-realized and should have seen the truth. Does that make sense? That was right.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So yeah. So I'm saying that this second chapter, this second verse of 14th chapter, Bhagavad says that how do we understand, how do we attain this knowledge? We can have the entire book, we can have the entire medical book. Brahmata is here. Mataji, can I start doing acupuncture just by reading acupuncture books?
Prabhuji.
What do you think, Mataji? I can become take needles?
That is scary, Prabhuji.
That's scary, right?
Yes.
No one will come here.
No welcome. Right? Just because I read multiple medical books or acupuncture and acupuncture medical books, I start and open a shop. Yeah, acupuncture specialist, whatever. They'll say, "Bhai, kya degree ki tarah?" No, they want, they expect you to learn from a particular bona fide source, teacher, school, who are actually went through this, right? So, saying, how can I attain this knowledge? By taking shelter and service to a guru. And when the guru becomes pleased, wonders happen. How? Let's maybe do verse. Okay, this comes from Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto, the first chapter. It's in fact, if I'm not wrong. The rishis, the Shaunaka rishis are glorifying Shisuda Goswami. Okay. Oh, second chapter. Right? Oh. Okay. No, yeah, baby. No, sorry. So here, because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you. They're very happy by his nature. The spiritual master have endowed with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple because of submissive nature. Manitvam adambitvam, 13th chapter, right? Humble service attitude, nature. They have given all favors, and by blessings of Guru, therefore you can tell us that you scientifically learned from them. So if I have a question, Suta Goswami and Shaunak Rishi. Shaunak Rishi is a Rigvedi Brahman. In social hierarchy, you could say top list. But, right? But he's asking Suta Goswami, who's socially not very high in that, we could say. And in age, Shaunak Rishi was older than Suta Goswami. But what is he saying here? Being the eldest learned Vedantist. Right? So here, because his knowledge and his realization, so his attitude, the gurus, his spiritual masters have blessed with all wonderful knowledge, everything, favors, blessings. Because of that, you can tell us if something we learn from them. Because of your blessings by spiritual master, we are able to, I'm sure you can explain us to what you have learned, your realization. And therefore, please explain to us in a easily understandable way. Remember 1.4.1, based on circumstances, you should internalize, understand, and then speak out of the circumstances in the audience in front. You speak in that particular way, an easily understandable way. What to assent into. You have learned many things, and you harmonized everything. We know that. Now, can you please tell the essence? In this is we're not very qualified or not very intelligent. They're saying, so please tell us in easier and easily understandable way. Right? Similar thing is mentioned again in Bhagavatam, first canto. First canto. I think here. So see, this is the sixth chapter. Narma is talking about his previous. Right? Hmm, 1 second, let me see here. 1 second, okay. Okay. So, interesting. 1 second. Interesting. Interesting. So, let me find it. So, Nagmani says in his description to Vasudev that because he used to serve the Bhakti Vedantas, they became very happy and then they taught and blessed him everything. Blessed him with all favors and gave him all blessings, by which he could do his sadhana doing properly and able to see Bhagavan at the end of his life once. Right? So, my point is, by the blessings of the Guru, taking shelter of the Guru, one can attain this knowledge. We can realize this knowledge and realize this knowledge, not by our own intellectual effort. Okay, does it say, I don't know if it's a tangent, went to tangent, but any questions on this?
Prabhu, you said Baladev Vidya Bhushan gives the take on
Sri Baladev Vidya Bhushan.
Upashritaya
Yes.
as
Upashritaya
gurus.
as to service of Guru.
Service of Guru. Okay. Okay. Jai. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. So now Krishna has revealed the glories of what is about to reveal in this chapter. Now he'll start describing the relationship between the material nature, the living entity, and himself. The living entity in this world. Okay. The triangle. Prakriti, Jiva, Baddha Jiva, and Bhagwan himself. He's going to start describing the relationship between all these three. Okay. So we'll take one verse. We'll see. Yeah, I'll take one verse if we have time. Let me see if it's in the purple 1 second. Oh yeah. So okay. Okay, Prabhupada here talks about that when Krishna says Sadharmya, my nature, Prabhupada saying that it means they're still entities in the liberated state. They're not merged. That they are still entities in liberated state. He might make this point in Baladev Vidya Bhushan that you don't just become, merge ऐसा नहीं होता है. Just because you get liberation, you don't become merge. They think, but you've always written that's individual identity, no matter what. Okay. And yeah, so basically, continuing what we're talking about. I'll just read the paper quickly, okay? In the material world, whatever knowledge we get is contaminated by three modes of material nature. Knowledge which is contaminated by three modes of nature is called, which is not contaminated by transcendental knowledge. There are two kinds of knowledge. This paravidya and this aparavidya. Aparavidya means jada vidya, knowledge of material world, which is contaminated with three modes. And this paravidya, which is not touched by the three modes. So the Vedas are emanation from the mouth of Bhagavan. So the knowledge of Vedas are not aparavidya, they are paravidya. But paravidya talks about how to live in this life, in this world. But there are certain portions of that Vedas to talk about paravidya. Does it make sense? So Vedas talk about different kinds of knowledge, talks about material knowledge also, and spiritual knowledge also. So if you just take the Vedas, but this spiritual knowledge part is called Vedanta, the end of the Vedas. What is the end of the Vedas? The Upanishads. Talks about something spiritual, something beyond this world. Okay, so all this Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan's Naam, the passions of Bhagavan, they are all transcendental knowledge, because by understanding, by meditating on these, one will not get stuck in the cycle of birth and death. That which can take us beyond the cycle of birth and death should be beyond the cycle of birth and death in the first place. So these knowledge are Paravidya, Bhagavan's Naam, Leela, Shastra, Bhagavatam, Gita, the Upanishads, they're all Paravidya, they are transcendental knowledge. So as soon as one is situated in the transcendental knowledge, he's on the platform of Supreme Person. Okay, those who have no knowledge of the spiritual sky hold that after being free from material activities or material form. Okay, so thank you so much. So I was saying that there are varieties in the spiritual world, because we see a variety in the material world. We think that spiritual world be exact opposite. No varieties, everything one. No, it's because this variety exists in the spiritual world that we see variety in the material world. So when we see a reflection of the mango on the water, it means a real mango exists somewhere. Right? So in the 15th chapter, Krishna will say, Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakham, that the material world is like a reflection, upside down banyan tree. So it's like if you see when you see banyan tree, when do you see banyan tree upside down? On the water. On banyan tree. That means real banyan tree exists. So varieties exist in the material world. It means varieties exist in the spiritual world also, but of a spiritual variety, not the material variety. Okay. There are spiritual activities and spiritual situation devotional life. Okay, yeah. Any questions on this verse?
Sorry, the second part you said, Prabhuji, that was from which verse you're talking about? Is it the same 14.2?
Yeah, but in the purport.
14.2 purport?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Those who have
sorry
no
about
knowledge of
that.
the spiritual sky hold that after being freed from the material activities of the material form, the spirituality becomes formless without any variegatedness. However, just as there is material variegatedness in this world, in the spiritual world, there is also variegatedness. This exact sentence, but I'll just elaborating on that.
Oh, okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry, I missed that.
No. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Anything else in this verse? If not, we can go to the next verse. Once, twice. Okay. Jai, we can read this verse. You want to read the verse? Once, twice.
I can read, Prabhu.
I can
Okay.
read, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
मम योनिर्महद्ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं ददाम्यहं सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत. Mama, my yoni, source of birth, Mahat, the total material existence, Brahma, supreme, Tasmin, in that, Garbham, pregnancy, Dadhami, create, Aham, I, Sambhavaha, the possibility, Sarva Bhutanam, of all living entities, Tataha, thereafter, Bhavati becomes Bharata, O son of Bharata. The total material substance called a translation, sorry, by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. Purport. This is an explanation of the world. Everything that takes place is due to the combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, the body and the spirit soul. This combination of material nature and the living entity is made possible by the Supreme God Himself. The Mahat Tattva is the total cause of total cosmic manifestation, and that total substance of the material cause, in which there are three modes of nature, is sometimes called Brahman. The Supreme Personality impregnates that total substance, and thus innumerable universes become possible. This total material substance, the Mahat Tattva, is described as Brahman in the Vedic literature, Mundaka Upanishad 1.1.19. Tasmat etat Brahma Nama Rupam Annam Cha Jayate. The Supreme Person impregnates that Brahman with the seeds of the living entities. The 24 elements, beginning from earth, water, fire, and air, are all material energy, and they constitute what is called Mahat Brahma, or the great Brahman, the material nature. As explained in the 7th chapter, beyond this there is another superior nature, the living entity. Into material nature, the superior nature is mixed by the will of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thereafter all living entities are born of this material nature. The scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out as products of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature, so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in this material world. Jai.
Krishna, thanks, Sumati. Very nice, thank you. So we'll reach this for second and wrap it up for today. So let's see the verse. Mama Yonir Mahad Brahma. Right? So Mahad Brahma is Yoni. It is womb. Okay? Mahad Brahma also means the great or the expanse. Yeah, expands. So that which expands through time and space. Material Prakriti is ex extremely vast. So, and it's Mahat because it's the great expansive one. It's called also, the material nature is also called a Mahat Brahma. So Mahat Brahma is a yoni, is a womb. Tasmin, in that, what? Garbham, the dhami aham. I place Garbham. What is Garbham here? Jiva, living entities. And because of Sambhava, because of that happens, something happens, what? Sarabhutanam, tato bhavati bharata. All living beings get their bodies because of that. So, what is Krishna saying here? That he is a cause of the material Prakriti, Pradhan, Mad Brahma, and from him comes Jiva, and he places in the Prakriti, and that's why the bondage starts. Now, when I say starts, it means beginningless, there's no time. Again, would that make sense? So let's talk about Baldev Vidyabhushan give very nice. Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan, Shri Thakur, very similar commentary. But we'll take from Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan. Okay. So Krishna has explained the glory of the knowledge he's about to speak, and by which Arjuna is like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, because he has increased the inquisitiveness of or the here for us also. कैसे क्या बताने वाला है, right? So this is the combination of Jiva and Prakriti. So previously the Prakriti was given by mentioned by which in which verse 7.4 Bhumi Apa Anila Vayu Kamanu Buddhi Devacha. Okay, and in 13.27 in and 7.5 verse Krishna talked about the Jiva, just to Anyam. Okay, and in 13.27 previous chapter, recent verse Krishna talked about that the entire world is combination of Prakriti and Jiva. In the entire world, in the universe, is only conscious and unconscious. That's it. I mean, high level, you could say. Okay? Is this clear till now? We'll go about more detail now. Okay? Now the cause of the entire world, right, is called gunas. The entire world is composed of gunas, and the pradhana, we could say Mahad Brahma, is a yoni in which the seeds are placed. Okay? It belongs to me. Mama is mine. It belongs to me. That yoni Mahad Brahma is mine, Krishna is saying. Mama yoni Mahad Brahma. It belongs to me. Now, in that Mahad yoni, function as a womb, I place the dhami, but small, you could say garbham, living entities, particles of consciousness, jiva. So what was dull prakriti? Prakriti is dull, right? This glass prakriti is dull. This body is dull, good matter. That which is dull prakriti, mentioned bhumi apanala vayu, is called Mahad Brahma here. And what was called conscious prakriti? What is conscious prakriti? And anyone can tell me what is conscious prakriti?
Anything living,
Hmm?
anything
Prad-
living, sentient.
Yes, good. So the living entities are also prakriti. That makes sense? What does prakriti here mean? Energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
tatastha shakti. Right? So what Krishna basically saying, I don't want to complicate too much, but Krishna is saying there is conscious prakriti and is unconscious. Unconscious prakriti is matter, bhumi, earth, water, air, fire, ether. Conscious prakriti is all living entities. So we are saying what is dull prakriti, bhumi, apa, anala, vayu, right? And what was conscious prakriti, jiva, garbha in this verse, Krishna keeps in the womb of that pradhan, Mahad Brahma. Krishna, I joined together the conscious enjoying entities with the material prakriti, which serves as the field, kshetra. Kshetra, kshetrajna. I place the kshetrajna, living entities, in the womb, Mahad Brahma Yoni, which serves as a field for the enjoyment. And from the combination of two, what happens? Birth of entities from Brahma all the way down to the grass, the ants, everyone take birth. That makes sense. Now, तो कृष्णा has any starting bias? इसको यहाँ पर रखा हो, उसको ब्रह्मा bias है कुछ? No. Papa says here in the verse, in the chapter, in the purport. Papa says here, किधर गया वो? एक मिनट. Oh, sorry. हाँ. ये कवर नहीं थे क्या? Okay. See, Papa says here, किधर गया? Somewhere else. Oh yeah, yeah. This every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by material nature. As I mentioned, remember, Anadi, beginning of time, this so set time, but it's difficult to wrap our head because we are so used to past, present, future. The beginningless time, right? Based on that, our previous karma, vasanas, based on previous activities, everything, many factors, many variables involved, which gives rise to a body in the next life, right? That's how it goes. From material nature is not, we're not born from material nature. We get the body from material nature. But Trista Shakti as living entities, we don't get. We are a Amsha of Bhagwan. It's Tatastha Shakti, it's marginal potency. Okay? So Krishna is saying, studying, he's telling relationship. What is the relationship between Prakriti, Jiva, and Bhagwan? They both belong to me. Mama Yoni, the Pradhan belong to me, and energy definitely belongs to me. It's saying 7.5. They both belong to me, and I place them in the conscious Prakriti into the dull Prakriti. And then it starts. So both belong to me. I am the master. Krishna is saying very clearly the relationship. Any questions?
He's saying both in the way he says Mama Yonir Mahabrahma and says Dadami Aham.
Aham Dada means he's placing.
He's placing.
He's placing.
And
Mama Yoni, this body belongs to me. And Saraswati, 7.5 already mentioned that another energy of you already mentioned 7.4, so you already mentioned that Bhumi Apanala Vayu also belongs to me. But he's saying that I, so you could say for both, that the Garbham and Mahajuni are both mine. And I place this into this. You could say that also.
yeah.
So in Sanskrit,
First
we take
verse,
one. Yeah.
the A part is laying claim on his ownership of Mahat Brahma, and the B part is laying ownership on the
Garbham.
The Garbham. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Mama Yoni Mahat Brahma and Mama Garbham also.
Yeah.
And Dadabi Aham in Tasmin Garbham. In Madhva, I Tasmin, in that Yoni, Tasmin, I place the Garbham. They're both mine. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Any question? Any clarification, anything? Lakshmi, Ramya, any questions, anything? It's clear, just want to make sure. We took a lot about more. So we are part of Master Krishna. We have the quality of Krishna. Thoda, not fully. We are quality of Krishna because we are part of Master Krishna. Okay? So it's natural for us to. So right now the abnormal seems normal. Not being able to serve Krishna seems normal, right? Because we're so used to it. But the actual nature is also because it be natural. Once you start, service becomes very natural to Bhagavan because we are part of Bhagavan Krishna. Right? So that is what Krishna is saying. They are mine, and we should. Krishna Prakriti also mine. So don't try to enjoy Prakriti. They're both mine. Instead, we should try to offer Prakriti what we get to Krishna. जिनका देना है उनको दे दो मतलब take प्रकृति जैसे we take water from the Ganga and offer it to Ganga again there's nothing better to offer best if Bhagwan give us all this what we have offer to service of Bhagwan simple right so there are many things which can be extracted from this sentence right the process of inclination to serve how to serve what to serve everything can take in this from this particular verse okay was it too fast too slow with 3 verses today.
I think, yeah, Prabhu, we can do a recap of this verse again next class.
Okay. Okay.
And is this the first time Krishna is mentioning Mahat Brahma, like not Mahat
Mahat
Tattva
Brahma is a different word for Prakriti.
for Prakriti? Okay, it's not
Pradhan.
Mahat Tattva, right? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Pradhan is that unmanifested.
Pradhan is unmanifested.
Yeah.
Agitated by time because of Mahat Tattva.
Mahat Tattva. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, any before we wrap up? Once, twice. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, this Brahman and Mahat Tattva, I am not really confident of from.
Yeah. So Madhi, it's not Brahma. So Brahma, Sanskrit has different, same word can have different meaning. Atma can mean the soul. Atma can mean the mind. Atma can mean the body. Right? It depends on the context used. Right? So we
Yeah.
have English we have same thing, right? We have different one word can have different meanings based on where it's used. So Brahma basically mean what is Brahma is technically mean? It comes from the dhatu called br. Br basically means expand, which the great. Brahma means that which expands.
Hmm.
Okay, so or that is expensive. Prakriti is called also called as Brahma because it's expansive, not expensive, expansive time and
Hmm.
space. And
Okay.
Maha is great because it's called energy of Bhagavan. The Mahat Brahman is that great Prakriti.
Hmm.
Did you make Mati? The Brahman doesn't mean here Brahman. That is Brahman is different also. Right? The whole world, the Mahat or the great. So Chakri Thakur gives way. So he says this. Um, he says that Prakriti is called Mahat because what it is great, and because it extends through all space and time continuously, it is called, and it is a cause of increasedness. It's called a Brahma.
Hmm.
So Mahat Brahma means that great expansive entity of nature.
Hmm. Okay.
Limaji?
Okay, Prabhuji. Yes. This one is referring to which Vishnu, Prabhu?
This is came from Mahavishnu.
This one is Mahavishnu. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it comes Ma pushes all these seeds because Mahavishnu is associated.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Very good.
In effect, we can actually interchange. Also, they are all same person, you could say. They are all, not you could say, they are the same person. The roles are different, that's it.
Yeah, but it's just taking different roles in
That's
different
it. Then different, the
locations,
scope is different, you could say. Same person, different scope.
different scope. Yeah, scope of practice. Yeah.
Mahavishnu is the Paramatma of the entire material world, material universe.
Mm.
Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the Paramatma for one world, one
Mm.
material world. Right? And
Mm.
Shivodaksha Vishnu is Paramatma for all living entities.
Mm.
Scope becomes larger, you could say.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, this 10:58. Thank you so much. We'll going to be 14 chapters started. We have 15 chapters is pretty short, 20 verses. Then 16 chapters also, so they're not very long verses, long chapter. 18 chapter is the biggest one now. Okay, so we reach there. Okay, thank you so much. Vanchakalapatarupisha, Kripa Sindhu Bheva Patitana Pavane Vaishnu Bhutmu Naman to Vaishnu ki Jai, Shri Bhagavad ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Next
Hare
week.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.